Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Yinzer Brothers podcast. I'm TJ. I'm here with my most excellent brother, Tim, and we are the Yinzer Bros. We are full steam ahead toward the draft here, 2025. The Steelers have done some work in the offseason. We'll see if it's enough. We're going to be talking about the draft and some other moves that they've made and even some potential moves that they have in the future here. We've got a lot to talk about. What's going on with TJ Watt? Is Aaron Rodgers still a thing?
What's going on? Getting done with that dude already. It's just...
You're not going to go do like one of those middle of nowhere steam bath things with him?
No, this dude, come on, TJ. Let's...
He's a unique flavor. Here's the question. Is he enough of a flavor to where you wait for him? But before we get into there, Tim, how are you doing?
Me?
Yeah. Well, how's life treating Tim? We're here on the verge of Easter. Tim, how's life treating you?
It's okay. Trying to golf.
How's that working out for you? Tim is a simulator hero, right?
Yeah. One day is good. Next day, it's like I don't even. Now that I picked up a club, I don't know what to do anymore. This game's. I'm a mental midget, dude. It's what it's caused me to be. It's all I think about.
I'm not going to argue with that fact, but it is a.
It's just I go out. I spend all this money on clubs. Like I can't hit my long iron, so I buy a hybrid. Hitting that fine. Can't hit the hybrid no more. Pick up the long irons again. Hitting those guys fine. Like I don't know what's going on.
Tim. So have you been able to go from the simulator to real life yet?
I tried outside, and I might as well just been in the middle of the ocean with nothing to float on. Well, it was like I didn't even pick up a club. Like people were probably looking at me at the range and be like, "Who's this guy? Wait, did this guy just go out and buy a $3,000 set of clubs and just come up here?"
Do you have a coach?
I had one lesson, but that was on the simulator, and
did the coach quit after the lesson? What did he do?
I thought he figured out my irons, and I'm like, all right, I really don't need this guy anymore. I got a quick lesson.
Ditched the coach, huh? You got it. You figured it out.
I was outside, and I had this guy hitting a ball. He was hitting his irons 300 yards, and a kid he couldn't have been more than 10, 11, just. I look like I shouldn't. I should have just gave my clubs to the kid that was 10 or 13, 10 or whatever he was, because I was hitting balls off the side of the side of the driving range divider.
That's gotta be scary. A guy of your size terrorizing the people at the range.
And the guy next to me was he was a pretty big dude. I thought he was gonna go back. I'm a big guy. I'm going this. I thought he gave me a couple of looks like, dude, why would you even come out here when you're.
And were you sweating and getting frustrated too?
TJ, I went through I bought myself a large basket of balls. I was pretty much 2/3 of the way through that thing, and I'm going, I barely hit a ball 15 yards. So I had to go get more balls. I think I swung 250 times. I woke up the next morning, I couldn't move. I couldn't move.
Oh, Tim.
I couldn't do anything. I couldn't pick up my daughter. I couldn't do anything. It was unbelievable.
So when is your next big out in the real world outing for golf?
I don't know. I went to the simulator this morning, and I get those things too. It's like I was playing well on the simulator, and then I got this old guy. I got 15 more minutes left on the simulator. Old people just show up because they want to get there early, thinking I don't know what they're thinking. So he just sits down and he's watching me. And as soon as he started watching me, I was hitting balls that were just they wouldn't even track on the simulator. They were so bad shots.
So was he commenting on your balls at all while you were swinging?
He was just looking at me, and I'm going, guy, dude, go to the bathroom, go away. I got 15 minutes. Let me live in peace.
Oh, man.
I think I was 3 over through 14, and then he sat down. I ended up being 13 over. It was unbelievable. I'm like, dude, get out of here. Get away from me. Stop staring at me. But I do want to go back outside because I can't. I mean, I feel good about myself, and then all of a sudden I get outside, and it's like, man, it was humbling, sweating, just. It's not even hot. It's like 55 degrees, 60 degrees, and I'm sweating like I just stepped out of a sauna.
So how often are you going to hit balls, Tim?
I go to the simulator at least 3 days a week. I went outside one day a week. Like,
well, maybe you should give that coach a call and say, "Hey, coach, perhaps I was wrong. Get Mr. Miyagi back to get teaching.
TJ,
maybe you didn't have it all figured out."
Some of the things that I have bought for golf, like I've bought. I mean, I'm on YouTube more than any human in his entire life, looking at golf swings and speeds. And I mean, I went out. I thought a special glove that that was like $40. TJ, that glove lasted me. I'm not lying. I'm like a week and a half. There's a hole in it. So what do? I go out. I buy the same glove again last night on Amazon. It's this like that.
What does the glove
tees.
do? What does the glove do?
It has padding in the hands, and it's supposed to give you a better grip. Because to me, everything's in my grip. That's my mental. It's my grip. It's my grip. No, it's just because I suck. It's just because I stink.
Well, I can relate, Tim. I struggle too. But
I went out and bought a travel case because I'm like, I'm gonna start touring the world golfing, and I come back one day, my confidence is I'm about to go outside and just snap all the clubs.
Oh, geez. Well, Tim, you sound frustrated like most of the Steeler fans as we prepare for the draft.
That isn't even the top of the stuff, TJ. I had you remember the whole, and I don't think you've heard this story because I haven't talked to you. You remember the old DirecTV story with the.
Oh, yeah. Tim fighting DirecTV.
TJ, I had one of these. It wasn't even close to the DirecTV. It was 30 times worse. 30 times worse.
Who are you fighting with now, Tim?
Best Buy.
By the way, this is the segment we call Tim versus the world. So what happened with you at Best Buy?
So, I mean, if everybody knows, I bought a new TV. Ginormous TV.
A big TV. A good TV.
Huge TV.
Expensive.
Huge expensive
If you're
TV.
looking to lift a TV off a house, here's the house you want to go to because Tim's sore from swinging it.
There's no way.
He can't
There's no way a human can actually get that out of the house. I don't know how they got it in. It's going to be one of those things like I'm going to have to break that TV in half when it craps out to get it out of the house because there's no way it can go through the door. So I buy this TV, and while we're there at Best Buy, they're like, "Hey, are you part of the blah, 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 blah club? It's like $50, $60. Guys like, I'm like, no. He's like, I suggest you do it because if this TV goes down in price in the next 60 days or 90, I don't know, 90, 6 months, whatever, we'll comp the price.
Oh, wow.
I'm going, okay. I was like, yeah, it makes sense. And he's like, trust me, this TV is going to be going down in price in the next like 3 or 4 months. I go, okay. This guy convinced me. It's an extra like $50 when you're spending $4,000 for a TV. You're just like, it is what it is.
$50? Yeah.
Yes. So I buy this thing, and TJ, every day since I bought that TV, every night, I've been scouring the internet to say, when does this TV go down in price? I mean, it's like clockwork, 8:05 every night, checking sites to see if this TV went down in price. So on Monday, TV, I look, oh my gosh, TV went down $400 from what we priced. I'm like, oh, $400 is a decent chunk of money.
It is.
Okay. So, I call Best Buy Wednesday. And of course, they put me to Steve in Bangladesh. He starts getting all the information. This guy's really nice. And, we start going back and forth. And he just like, I don't see the purchase at all. I'm going, dude, like I'm staring at the receipt on my computer. I'm going. And then he's like, oh, let me look at another thing. He's like, oh, okay, I found it. He's like, but the quote-unquote card, Best Buy Club card, he's like, it's on a different account compared to what you bought the TV, so we can't give you the price. I go, and I'm looking at the receipt. Everything's on the receipt. Like the Best Buy Plus, the TV, I'm going, dude, are you out of your mind? I go, what? And TJ, I'm getting madder and madder. I'm going like, you can see everything. You know this is what happened. It's the only reason why I bought this plus Best Buy thingy was because of this scenario. I don't care about it. And I start lying through my teeth, saying my company buys everything through Best Buy. We're gonna yank everything. And I finally go, hey, I was like, I know you can fix this. And he's like, no, I can't fix it, sir. I go, let me talk to your manager. I was like, do you have a manager? They go, yeah. I was like, let me talk to me. And he flat out tells me, no. And no, you're not. No. I go, what? You're not letting me talk to your manager, TJ? I am MF in the world. MF like, I sweating. There is just throat, like the veins are just popping out. I look like Thanos. Just so, dude, like I'm MFing this guy up left and right for a half hour, and he just continues to be like, nope, can't do nothing about it. Can't do nothing about it. I say, give me your name. He spells out some name, TJ, that was I couldn't. There's no way I couldn't. I look down and I go, do you have a last name? He goes, starts going. I'm going, what am I doing? I couldn't. There's just no way. So, like, I'm so mad. I get directly in my car and I head directly to the store at Best Buy where I bought the TV. And I go in like, TJ, I went in like you would have thought I was a tiger that just got released from the zoo. I'm in there and I'm like, and TJ, by this time, I'm not even like, I look like a hobo the way I'm dressed and going into Hobbit. I can't believe like these dudes are like, even thought, they're like, this guy, there's no way this guy has the money to buy the TV that he talked about buying the TV. I got I'm holding the receipt in my hand like it's the Bible. I got it all printed out. And thankfully, the dude like at Best Buy is like, all right, he's like, no, I get it, I see what happens. And they comped the price. TJ, I was so close. Here was a kicker to it. I felt bad. The guy was like, I'm going, yeah. I was like, well, what happens if it changes in the next X amount of days? Will you get me off like that? He goes, well, it's only up to 60 days. And then in the back of my brain, I'm going, dude, I purchased this TV in February. It's April 16th. I was like, it's past the 60 days. After he hit that enter button, I grabbed my crap and I just But yeah, I was like, man, that guy, when he told me, when I asked to speak to his manager and he said no, TJ, if you would have seen my face, like, that was the closest I would have had to actually just like ending it all and being in prison for the rest of my life if he was in front of me.
What are you in for, Tim? Best Buy.
TJ, I was, thank God nobody was here at the house. Melissa was working, the kid, because they would have thought that, like, TJ, it was bad. I was shaking.
Tim, they know by now. Don't you think they know?
Well, I got Melissa, as this phone call's going on, like, hey, keeps texting me, what's going on with the Best Buy? What's going on with the Best Buy? And that's even getting me more angry. I have this guy just continuously telling me, I understand that you're upset, but I can't do anything. Like, he said it like a million times. I'm like, yes, you can, dude. Yes, you can. But yeah.
Oh, Tim. So Tim's frustrated like most of the Steeler fans, which is what I get. So let's talk a little bit about the draft. Let's start here. Well, let's talk about this. Let's talk about maybe what the Steelers need. What do you think the Steelers need, Tim?
A quarterback, TJ?
We need a quarterback. We need a quarterback. What else? We need some D-line help.
I watched that whole entire Aaron Rodgers thing like it was like I was holding on to the edge of my seat. Not only that, I watched the Pat McAfee thing till midnight going. I'm going, Aaron Rodgers is going to come out. TJ, it feels like I just been getting kicked in the crotch repeatedly.
Yeah, I hear you. What other needs do you think they have? They need a running back, probably.
They need a defensive line. Their defensive line stinks.
It does. What other needs do you think they have?
They need a running back. They need probably a wide receiver too, because the wide receiver two we have right now is mentally unstable.
That's putting it nicely. Yeah, he's working out though. I've been watching his footwork drills. He needs to do those mind games that you can get on your phone.
I've been working out too with the simulator. Doesn't mean a goddamn thing. Damn bit of difference.
So we know like the draft. They got a first, they got a third, they got a fourth, a fifth, and a sixth, and a seventh. So they're missing that second. So they're going to
Yeah.
have to be creative. So here's the big thing. What are they going to do with their first round pick?
In my sick brain, like I'm still like I was picking things out of the Aaron Rodgers like interview, going, oh, he's still communication with Tomlin, and like in my brain, this is how dumb my brain works. I keep thinking that like Tomlin and those guys told Aaron Rodgers not to say anything. There's already a deal because they want the smoke screen for the draft,
Could be
which I
true.
know is probably totally just idiotic and incoherent to even think like that because it's just Aaron Rodgers being a flake. But that's in my brain. I'm kind of thinking they got this whole deal. They just don't want the smoke screen. They're saying, hey, and as soon as the draft's over, Aaron Rodgers is like, here, we're signing. But I know
I,
it's not it.
I think you're probably, they have to know something because they're not freaking out at all. And I mean, they're not in anything. But I mean, here's reality. What are they going to do?
What are they going to do? Who are you going to sign now, TJ?
Yeah. Which I got to say this. I'm not like, and I know people talk about, like Fields and all that stuff. But do you really think Fields was the answer?
No.
So then go with Mason. And if Mason doesn't show up,
Oh.
then Aaron comes in. I mean, so either way, if Aaron comes in, what's the worst case scenario? He stinks, which is what you're going to get with Mason. Best case scenario is he's got a good year and we can actually maybe push forward a little bit. I don't know. So I don't know
Who?
why people are freaking out. To me, it's like it is what it is. I don't
TJ, I
care.
think it's because you dumped $150 million or what? How many in a second round pick and a DK Metcalf?
Well, you're going to get a QB in the next couple of
You
years.
got
You have him locked up
TJ.
for a while.
You got TJ Watt doing peace sign symbols on the under 12.
I get it, but you're limited. So when you look at that first round, what do you think they're going to target for in the first round?
It better be a D lineman.
I think you're right. I hear all this crap about Sanders and all these things, and I think we'll talk about the QBs in a second. But I still think they're looking probably at Grant or Harmon. That's my thing. If they're following the Philly blueprint, why would they go different now?
Go get you a D lineman. To me, and I've said this in the past. I think all these quarterbacks in this draft stink. So to me, if you take a lump in 25 and don't have a winning season, quote unquote, you get your guy in 26. And I think they're loading up with the comp picks to go up and get their guy in 26. And we're a better place to get your franchise quarterback in 2026. Drafts in Pittsburgh, go get your guy in
I agree.
26.
Here's the reality, and I don't understand. Sometimes like the talk radio in Pittsburgh frustrates me. Why do they think you have to suck in order to position yourself to go get your guy? You can always move things around. You can always trade
TJ,
up to get
I
stuff.
get you, but normally, man, you got to get if you're coming from 15, 13 compared to 20, 21, big deal.
Mhm.
Big difference.
Oh, I hear you,
You
but I
know what I
mean,
mean?
here's the reality. I mean, you got teams like like the Browns, teams like the Jaguars. These guys, teams like Carolina, that they continue to suck and they continue to get top draft picks. It's not just about getting the top three or two guys. You can find a decent quarterback. I mean, where did they pick Mahomes at?
I think Kansas City moved up to like 7 or 10 to get him.
So, I mean, you can always jump into the top 10 to find your guy. So I don't know why it's like, I don't think sucking and getting your guy, they go together all the time. I think you could be a decent team and still go get your guy. I mean, look at Green Bay. All those years, Green Bay went from Favre to Rodgers to Love. They didn't suck
I
any of those years.
I understand, but I mean, normally the guy that's going to be the kind of the franchise changer. I mean, the better chance you have. Let me put it this way: if it working out 100%, is a guy you get one or two or three.
I get it, but I mean, look at Ben and these guys. I mean, great guy. He wasn't projected. If people could go back in time now and say, was he going to be the best one of all those guys? Nobody can. Quarterbacks is like there's just like rolling the dice. You never know. You never know what
I
you're going
know.
to get. But I do agree with you. I mean, when you look at the QB draft class this year, I don't even know if like Cam Ward, if he's like, I think he may be the best of the bunch, but that doesn't mean he's great.
No, I agree with you, man. I think they're all garbage, man. And like hearing that Duliak on Eisen yesterday say that the Steelers have a first round grade on Jackson Dart. Dude, he's Kenny Pickett just in a Southern Miss jersey. That's
Yeah.
what he is.
I think the Steelers are good at misdirection when it comes to their first round picks and stuff like that. So I don't
Are
buy.
they? Are
I,
they, TJ? Look
I
at
think
some of
they
their
are.
first round picks the past 10 years.
Well, I
They've
mean, it
been
depends. Like,
brutal.
oh, they've been great. But I mean, think about this. How many first round? Sometimes we judge the Steelers in a place that I just don't understand. How many great teams their first round picks are always hitting. I mean, if you get 5 out of your 10 in the first round, if you're 50%, that really become these, perennial all pros and stuff like that, I think you're doing great. Most teams don't get that.
I understand, but TJ, I still think they're trying to dig out of the hole. Kevin Colbert left his last 3 or 4 years.
I agree. I totally agree. He had terrible draft classes. So I liked what these last couple with Kahn. I think they've been pretty good. And I think with him and Weidel, I think they continue to build the trenches, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
Would it, let's say, would it be awful to you if let's say that a great running back dropped, or let's say like a great wide receiver dropped, if they were to take that at a 21?
Nope. No. They need TJ. Their defensive line stinks.
Oh,
they need defensive line help. I don't care. You could have the greatest running back in the world. You could have the greatest receiver in the world. When you're giving up 300 yards rushing, I don't care who you're throwing out there that's spectacular. You're going to lose.
Yeah. No, I need
you need to get a defensive line, and the running back class is so deep. You can get your guy at round 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Receiver. Again, it comes down to what you're doing with Pickens. I mean, you drafted a guy in the 3rd round last year from Michigan for a reason. He better show up, or that means you hit severely bad Roman Wilson. I mean, I don't know. It's just, to me, I wouldn't mind them seeing actually, if it's me, I wouldn't mind them seeing move back in the draft and pick up another pick in the 3rd round or even a 2nd round pick to move back a couple spots. That's what I would do. You load up. Maybe you get 2 3rd-rounders, have a pick later in the 1st round, maybe early 2nd round, and you get an additional 3rd round or additional 2nd round pick, and you go get your running back and your receiver you need, and you get your D-line help, so you have all those pieces of the puzzle that you need. And maybe you grab a quarterback in the 4th round. I think, put it this way, they're going to draft a quarterback. I just don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a guy that's in the 4th round, like a guy from the Ohio State kid or something like that. Because they have to, even if they sign Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, they got to draft. You got to have.
They don't have enough quarterbacks to fill the roster, dude.
Yeah, I could see them going for Howard and stuff. Are there any other quarterbacks that you like in the draft that are going to be in more of that 4th round kind of a thing, or 3rd round or 5th, something like that?
Him or the kid from Louisville, it's okay, I guess. I think they all suck. But even like I said, I don't think Milroe is going to be there. If Milroe was there in the 4th round, I'd take him. If it's a 4th round pick, take him.
But why? I mean, he's a freakish athlete. If he doesn't want to do anything but quarterback, then why grab him
in the 4th round?
So if you can shift him to say a receiver, or you could use him for other things, maybe he's fast, he's all that stuff. But if he I'm just here to throw the ball, he does not throw the ball well at all.
I think he's got a good arm. He's a lottery pick. It's either he's going to be turn into something crazy good, or he's going to stink severely.
I think they're too far away for that. I don't think, as far as a developmental project, I don't know. There's just something I don't like. Now, I don't mind that kid from Louisville. He looks like he could have some.
He's just like, he's 32 years old.
Yeah, he's old. I mean, he's like Wheaton. Yeah.
I mean, he's just old.
I like Howard's specs. He's got the right size. He's a winner. He's can he continue to progress and be something decent?
He's a career backup, dude. That's what he is.
He might
I mean, you're going to do in the 4th round. He's most likely going to be a career backup.
Yeah, I mean,
if he pans out great.
I want guys that can process well. I don't need you to have like the cannon for an arm, but I need you to be accurate, and I need you to process well. That's what I need. If you can do that, you got a chance.
I don't disagree.
The NFL's a different game.
I don't disagree with you, but I think
everybody's looking for Lamar Jackson. Those guys don't come around very often. I mean, I think that was like Justin Fields' biggest issue. He had all the talents. I don't think he processed well.
Yeah, I agree with you. But I don't know if Lamar did that great when he first came out, though, too.
But they tailored everything toward Lamar. You can see now he's settling in. So he's got his couple year window before his athletic ability starts to wane just a little bit. If he can transition to a full pocket passer, which he looked pretty good last year doing that.
Yeah.
Then I think he could be something that's pretty special. But again, he was pretty healthy. He had no injuries. And he had this guy next to him named, what was his name again? King Henry. That adds a ton.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that's sickening that they actually got him for peanuts anyway. So that makes it disgusting to begin with.
Did. And he was, he's pretty much a force and stuff like that. So I don't know. So who do you think as we look at the draft? I mean, what does your gut tell you? Where do you think we're drafting? What do you think we're grabbing?
I think it's going to be a D lineman. I just to me, there's too many things that Art Rooney said when he spoke after the season about the D line. Um, Letting go of Ogunjobi, even though he's a steroid abuser, is
Hey,
it's that having that you just don't let like bodies like that go and not go out and sign somebody to replace that. Cam Hayward's older,
yeah.
so you're going to need to me everything all those pieces just scream defensive lineman, man.
So if you were to pick, like, let's say they're both there, like Grant and Harmon, who do you go with?
I'd probably go Grant. That's just me. The dude is bigger. He's got a bigger motor. I do like Harmon too. I like the kid from Old Miss though too. So Nolan, I think his name is. You
Yeah,
got
Nolan's good
Nolan,
too.
Harmon. I think it's going to be Harmon because I don't think Grant's going to be there.
Hmm.
Truthfully, I think he's going to be gone before they pick. So I think it's going to be Harmon. That's a kid from Oregon. So I think it's going to be he reminds me a lot of Cam Hayward. So I think that's going to be, and I'd be cool with that. I'd be cool with that. But one of those three, I think I would be okay with. The only other, like I said, I don't like any quarterbacks in it, but it would get very interesting if Shador does slip to them. Like it's
I think
almost like
it's a
it's
possibility.
it's almost like if he does, I just don't. I think he's gonna. I don't like Cam Ward. Of any of the quarterbacks in this draft, Shador may be the one that's okay. I don't think. I don't. I still don't think any of the quarterbacks are good, but I don't know. He seems like he can process.
Hmm.
He's accurate.
He is. He's progressed. His accuracy's progressed every year too. What was he, like, 70 some percent accuracy this year? I mean, that's good.
And the thing's like to me, he's one of the back man, and I. It's just so weird to say. It's like he was always in the off season working out with Brady. That's who he Brady worked out with him in the offseason all the time. So it's kind of like one of those ones where I'm kind of like, man, maybe. But those are my guy. That's it. If the defensive lineman's not there, and you'll know too, truthfully, dude, I think you'll know a lot. If they somehow go receiver in round one, I expect the next thing you hear is Pickens is traded somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just don't. If they're going to trade Pickens, I think it's going to be draft night. I
Yeah.
really do.
No, I agree. I agree. What do you think he'll get, a second round? Do you think they'll get a second rounder out of him?
I don't know, but I know that they'll. I think they're going to get more like a third, a fifth, because everybody knows if he walks next year and signs
You
the
don't get
comp
anything.
pick. You get a comp pick, which is going
Yeah.
to be it's going to be third round pick. That
Yeah.
would be your comp pick. So I think everybody's going to say, hey, we'll give you a third round pick and maybe sweet it up with a fifth round or something like that.
Would you? I would send him for a third and a fifth.
I think I would too at this point.
And
But I guess it all depends what receivers are there in round one. Like I really like the dude from Missouri, and I like the kid from Texas too. But I heard they're very
Ibuka?
high. No, Abuka's from Ohio State. The
Oh, I
Golden's
like Golden. I
from
like Golden a lot.
Texas.
I like
I
Golden a
think
lot.
he would complement DK very well, and then the guy from Luther Burden from Missouri, he's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Um, but I think everything I'm hearing is they're really high on the kid from I think Iowa State, but he reminds me of Pickens a
Yeah.
lot. But I don't know. Like I said, you'll know very quickly if that's the case, and then. But I still think it screams defensive lineman.
Well, if they can get a third and a fifth for Pickens and then trade back and find a second, I mean that.
I don't even think you'll need to, truthfully, if you get a third for him. I think you'll have two third round picks and you'll be able to get your defensive lineman first round. You'll be able to get or if you get your receiver. I think you better get your defensive lineman first round, receiver third round, running back third round. That's
I
where
mean,
that's where I'm thinking. Because to me,
that sounds solid to me.
but what do I know, TJ? I'm just some stupid idiot that can't hit a golf club more than 2 inches. So
Oh,
I don't
that's
know.
true. So it's going to be an interesting draft thing. I'm with you too. I don't think. Hopefully they learn from Kenny Pickett stuff. If the QB's not there, he's not there. But I'm with you. Of all the guys I like, if you're going later rounds, I'm good with Howard. If you're talking about a chance to get Sanders, he has something. Again, he doesn't have the strongest arm. He's not the greatest athlete. It's hard to imagine he is Dion's son, but he's not bad. He's not. I mean, he processes well.
Hmm.
And again, if he's, Brady will never be accused of his athletic prowess. He,
No.
he worked very well with what he had, made great decisions, and lasted a very long time. I mean, accuracy is huge, and he does take sacks. I'll give him that. So maybe you got to
Well,
break that.
that's tough because that line in Colorado was so bad.
Oh yeah, well because Dion's a skill position guy. Holy cow! Everybody that's fast wants to be there. You need some big men too to
Yeah,
keep you
but
guys
I mean,
clean.
he was only what he was only Shador was only there 2 years, right? I mean, under
And they're
Colorado.
retiring his jersey.
I know it's crazy. To me, that's dummy. But it's to me, it's you only have you can't. It's tough for you to build up a line like that in 2 years.
Oh, it is. Oh, it is. It
So
is.
I don't know. I mean, I whatever it is, I just yeah. Hopefully, I would prefer them getting a quarterback next year. But it just the Aaron Rodgers thing, it's just driving me banana land, dude.
I think that's going to play out at some point. Um, I think they know something we don't know because I think the way that they're approaching it. And again, there's just too many. What would possess Aaron Rodgers to throw with Metcalf? If there wasn't some type of a hint or connection,
I don't.
why would that even happen?
I don't disagree with you, dude. But it just the way he sounded. He sounded closer to retirement than he did with playing.
I think that's all. I think Aaron Rodgers loves the Aaron Rodgers show. As long as he can keep that thing rolling, he's relevant. He's in the news, and he loves that.
Yeah, dude. I'm sick of being a circus every year with the Steelers, and it feels like dude, we're gonna be a circus all year.
So this is the thing. It's only a circus if you pay attention to the monkeys. If you don't pay attention to the monkeys and all the acts, so it's an act. You don't feed it any oxygen. It is what it is. I still think this. If you can get Aaron Rodgers at 75% of what he was, that's still a heck of a quarterback.
I
He's
don't.
accurate. He understands stuff. Everybody that's talking like he's washed and he's not worth it and Mason's as good as he is, they're out of their minds. It's like they've never even watched football. You can't judge him against the Jets. The Jets are a terrible organization.
I
If you
agree,
can
TJ,
get
but I mean, I have been the one. I think even before he went to the Jets, I was like, I would love to see 12.
yes,
I have. It just this is ridiculous. There's no. I never thought a million years there would have been a decision by this time.
I think if it was still up in the air, I think that the Steelers would have already. I don't think there's. I think they're in a no lose situation. Everybody thinks they're in a no win situation. What the worst is you play Mason. The best is you get Rodgers. Okay. If you lose, you lose. If you win, you win. I think you continue to build your team. I said this last year. The Steelers are about 2 years away from being a serious contender. If they continue to build the rest of the team, then they're about a year away from a contender, and then maybe next year they get their quarterback. I mean, here's the
I
reality.
guess, man.
We have to come to terms with this. Cam is probably not going to have a ring with the Steelers, and Watt is probably not going to have a ring with the Steelers unless things turn around fast. So you know what? Hey, we thank you. You guys are great. There's some great Hall of Fame people like Dan Marino that don't have rings. That's fine. It can't be burn the ships to get these two guys a ring. Thank you for your contribution. We're building a football team. Now, maybe it clicks in earlier because you never know. The NFL is so weird. You never know with injuries. Hey, we benefited one year when Tom Brady tore his knee up. You remember that? Mom was praying for him to tear up his knee, and he did.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can't believe you just kind of made that statement, but yes, I do. Yeah,
And then who won the Super Bowl that year?
we did, I believe, right?
We did because you
Yeah,
took the Brady off the table. You
yeah.
never know how every year's going to unfold. I mean, we know this. Lamar Jackson, great. He's injury issues every once in a while. He was pretty healthy this year. That's the exception. That's not the rule. Burrow gets banged up all the time.
I don't want to win like that, TJ.
I don't
want to
care
be
how I get a ring. Give me the ring.
TJ. I want to be the team that I'm like, oh, every year it's like, I want to be like the Chiefs, where I have that quarterback every year. I'm like, oh crap, we got to go through this every year.
I get it, but here's the reality. It's part of the game of football. How healthy you are and how things unfold for your team is just as important as how much you train. You could train forever and
I
blow
agree,
your Achilles,
TJ.
and who cares?
But guess what? I want to be like the Chiefs, where I know, hey, I got 15. Guess where I'm going to be? I'm going to be in the mix at the end of the year. That's what I want
So,
every year.
let me ask you a question.
TJ, I'm old enough now to the day I die. That's what I want for the next 15 years.
So let's just look at this year. And I hear people saying, "Well, the Steelers aren't that good; they're not a contender." I think that's crap. I think they're in the top part of the league, which is fine. They may not be in the top five. You don't have to be in the top five. You got to get hot at the right time, and you got to be healthy. If you're going into a playoff game, let's say Aaron Rodgers has an above average year, not one of his great years, and you go into the playoffs, and he's had a great year. He's got great camaraderie with the guys he's throwing the ball to. The offense is clicking. Doesn't he put a little fear in your heart?
TJ, yeah, don't get me wrong. Yeah, but what the thing that's been scaring me for the past 8 bazillion years they've been in the playoffs, their defense just gets annihilated.
So you work on defense. You add some defensive line. I think that's really what they need. If they get some defensive linemen, that'll sure up the running game. I think the rest of the pressure's decent. Their inside linebackers, you talk about upgraded. They've upgraded. They get Holcomb back too. Holy crap. He's a good guy to bring off the bench. Everybody's like, oh, we lost a tooth chipper. Well, we had a pretty decent guy that was better than him that's rehabbing.
Yep.
You know what makes a cornerback really great? A great front line and a great pass rush. I mean,
I get you.
So for us, I think we could be closer than we think we are. But we just got to trust. So I don't mind waiting for Rodgers. I don't think he's making a mockery of the Steelers. I think he's just trying to figure stuff out. And I think the Steelers are like, hey, whatever you want to do, we're cool with. Because we're rebuilding the rest of the roster anyway.
I just get nervous that it's like it's been holding up other people that they're going to potentially sign. Like I'm feeling is it holding up Watt's deal?
They're going to sign Watt. All that's going to take care of it. It's just going to be. He wanted to get signed last year, and
which they should have.
They should have. I agree. So
Cleveland ruins everything for everybody.
They do. And I hope this year, whatchamacall pulls his hammies out all year.
Kenny Pickett?
No, Garrett.
Oh, Myles Garrett?
Yeah.
At this point in time, I don't really care. It's like I see what's going to happen. I know what's going to happen before it's going to happen. Kenny Pitt's going to beat us twice next year, and I'm gonna be like, you bleepity bleep 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 bleep.
Dude, all I saw last year when Kenny Pickett was with the Eagles and he tried to pull that ball back and he flipped himself like somebody grabbed him like it was a judo move and he flopped himself on the back. That's all I had to see. TJ, have you ever seen an NFL quarterback do that?
TJ, I agree with you, but it's just because this is what's gonna happen. He's gonna light the Steelers up, and I'm gonna be sitting in there like I'm in the Matrix, going, "What the hell is happening?"
No, it's the Browns. So before we get rolling and everything, let's take a look at the Yinzer mailbag. What's the Yinzer mailbag? It's when you, the Yinzer fans, get to ask us anything. If you want to email us, you can email us at yinzerbros@gmail.com. And if you're lucky enough, you will be on this international podcast. Our podcast is gaining steam, Tim. I think we picked up another subscriber.
Really?
We're way past double digits. We are steaming toward triple digits.
Oh, I wonder where this is. This a subscriber? Does he have a name? Maybe it's the guy that I was talking to from Best Buy. Maybe he subscribed.
Could be. He may have come to the light. Tim, what's in the
I think he's probably trying to track me down because of some of the evil things I said about him.
He probably is.
I got something from the Yinzer mailbag saying, okay. So with the Aaron Rodgers issues going on and everything, if it doesn't pan out and they have a terrible year, does that put Mike T on the hot seat?
No. I think Mike T's got pictures, incriminating pictures. I think he'll retire when he wants to retire. I don't think anything can happen unless he loses his mind, walks naked on the field. And even if he does that, it's 50-50 to me that they'll get rid of him.
But aren't we getting to a point now? You had the Ayuk thing happen to the Steelers, basically play the Steelers.
Yep.
If Aaron Rodgers, this thing pans out and he's playing the Steelers, that whole everybody wants to go play for Mike T quote, it's kind of going to go, it's wearing pretty thin because you're getting played like a fiddle from people. if you have a pretty crappy year, the seats gotta at least be a little warm, TJ.
Well, it might be a little bit warm, but even Aaron Rodgers in his thing, he talked about Mike. He's like, oh yeah, I talk to Mike T all the time, like on a regular basis, all the time. I mean, even him just saying that tells you,
Put the pen to the dotted line, you weirdo.
You can't. He's got to let what is it? The thousands of little fingers loving your body. What was that whole thing that he went into?
I don't know, dude. The guy's like, I'm just looking at the TV going, you feel bad. You're like, you got issues with personal life. I get it.
Tim, Compassion International.
I get it. But I'm going, dude, come on, man. You can take care of business and do all your personal life crap, but you could still sign on the dotted line and go do that afterwards.
But what if he signs for $10 million, Tim?
Then I'll be pissed off we didn't have that money available to get other people free agency. I mean, come on, dude.
But you also understand this too, and I don't understand why some of our media in Pittsburgh, we may be part of that talk now, Tim, I don't know, is very short-sighted because we think, well, everybody that you can get. That's not true. You can have draft trades all the time, and you can have money to bring in bigger gun to guys with draft trades if you like.
What are you talking about, dude? Like, explain what you just said. I'm like 2-year-old.
So let me ask you a question.
Didn't understand anything.
Let's say you trade a third-round pick for a big D tackle that you like that comes with a big salary.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't we do that? If we have extra money in the coffers, let's say we find another receiver or another running back that we like. They don't have to all be free agents. You can get somebody.
TJ, but you doing that.
We're dangling Pickens. What if somebody else is dangling somebody else? What if somebody else might be dangling something that we're not even aware of yet?
TJ, we're starting to sound very bear-like. I don't like this.
How crazy would this be? What if, I know that there's nothing with the Trevor Lawrence stuff. But what on draft night, if maybe there was something with the Trevor Lawrence stuff, and maybe if we're dangling Pickens, maybe they're like, you know what? We got a high enough pick. Maybe we're going to go with somebody that we weren't anticipating to go with, and we're going to deal him.
No, TJ, we are.
You get a bucket of money. If you have the money to spare, you have the money to spare.
I get what you, but come on now, dude. Let's just,
I'm just telling you, the thought process, or it's always like, we missed all the train, we missed the boat, there's nothing else we can do. That's bananas. Somebody needs a wide receiver. Do you think they've called us about Pickens?
Probably.
So are there other people that are on the trade block that we don't even know about that the Steelers could be inquiring on that could help us now?
Probably not. So
if you're going to grab Pickens, what do you do if you get Pickens in a trade? What's the first thing you do?
I'd draft another receiver.
No. I'm talking about if we send him to a team, if a team grabs him, what's the first thing they do after a psych evaluation? What's the first thing that they do? They lock him up to what? A long-term deal.
Yeah.
What do you need for that?
You need money. Free up money. But a lot of those teams that stink have money, dude.
Let's say they come
I don't know. I don't know where the Browns are coming up with money. I still don't I really don't.
They got their own rules.
I seriously, I think the NFL, they did something like, you guys will suck regardless, so there's no salary cap for you guys. Because TJ, I was like, they're paying Deshaun Watson $1 billion. They're paying Myles Garrett $1 billion. They're playing their receiver money. I don't understand how they're getting all this money.
I don't either. Well, what I'm saying is this. Let's say you get to draft night, and let's say a team that's got a stud defensive tackle decides we're going to draft a kid instead, and this guy's now on the chopping block. So the Steelers may say, okay, you know what? That's a 3-year deal.
I would rather draft a dude. I'm sick.
I get
you're
that.
Turning, TJ, you're turning it. You start doing that crap. You're turning it into the Bears.
I get that. No, I totally get that. I think they go young, but I'm just telling you the whole thought process of, we should have had that money before. And I get where that comes from. We're basing it off of a couple guys that left, like defensive tackles and this and that. That doesn't preclude you to be able to make deals all the time. You can make deals anytime you want. How
often do you see them making deals for a 25-year-old defensive end tackle? It doesn't happen.
No, but you know what? It could. They did some stuff for offensive linemen that they haven't done in the past.
What do you mean?
Well, to supplement until they could get the younger guys enough for defense. So now you've got a good offensive line that's pretty young that is homegrown, but that wasn't the case before. You have to add pieces to what you need until you
and they suck. They suck doing that. The other thing.
They did. So you got to do maybe that. I still think they need to pick up. I think they need to draft maybe a couple defensive tackles in the draft this year. And if they're going to do it well, they got to be. It can't be like we're going to get like a first rounder and then like a sixth rounder.
Oh, that's
I think they got to go
TJ,
forward.
that is 100% what they're going to do.
I'm telling you what I would do.
I agree, but they've been drafting fifth or sixth rounder defensive linemen for the past, I don't know, 7 years. I got to look at dudes like Louderface, and they all suck.
Well, and they're not like the right body types either. I mean, they're not. Where did they draft Cam at? Cam
First
Hayward.
Round.
Was he a first rounder?
End of the first round, last pick, I think.
He'd be worth it. What else you got in your mailbag?
Oh my Lord! That whole thing you just said just absolutely just blew my mind.
Deals can be made. You never know.
Blew my mind. Okay. With Najee departing,
Hallelujah.
Do you think he's going to have a better year with the Chargers than he did with the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Yes, because they have a different blocking scheme. I think he was not a good fit. I don't think he needs more of a power scheme. We do a zone blocking scheme.
Doesn't that scare you with your evaluation? Did they draft him the first round? They're like, no, we're going to stick him into a different blocking scheme.
I think sometimes they think he'll figure it out, and what they did not anticipate was his poor vision. He's terrible at field vision. He just does. He missed holes constantly. He missed holes that other guys didn't miss, which is why I think our other guys are going to have a much bigger year. He would put his head down. He'd go side to side. He's not a scat back. He does not have the quickness to do that. I was so frustrated. His field vision was awful.
I don't disagree with you, but I mean, he'll
be better because they run a power game there. Put your head down, Najee, and get 3 to 5 yards. You're going straight. He'll be better.
But why wouldn't you do that here?
Plus, he's got a better quarterback too.
But why wouldn't you do that here if he was going to be your focal point of your offense?
I mean, part of it, does it really matter? The line wasn't that great, and you had no quarterback threat to stretch anything. At least with Herbert, you have a quarterback threat. So by the nature of all those things, of course he's going to be better. Does that mean he's a better running back? No. He's just in a different situation.
I guess, man.
That's how I see it. Again, it is what it is. I would like to see somebody that's a power back that can that's got better vision. I would not be opposed. Don't make fun of me. I would not be opposed to seeing a Chubb here. I know he came off an injury, but if he's got a little bit of burst, he can see the field. If you can see the field, we'll take you. And what's
they need some guy. They need some guy that can take it to the house anytime he touches the ball.
Well, no, I still think you draft that guy, but I think you supplement the room with another guy like that. Get a horse in there. What's the other kid that he just left the Chargers?
But that's going to give you what almost you got 2 running backs now. You draft 4 running backs. You ain't keeping 4 running backs.
Throw one on the practice squad. I'm telling you right now, I'd grab Chubb. I'd grab what's the other guy that was he was with the Bill or the Ravens?
Dawkins or Dollins or J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah, Dobbins. I would grab Dobbins can't stay healthy because he's not. You can't use him he can't be your feature guy.
So you got 2
I'm
guys
telling you right now.
You got 2 guys. You got 2 guys with
Chubbs. He looks determined to me.
You got 2 guys with knees that are about the same as mine, maybe even worse.
If you had Nick Chubb as a maybe he's touching the ball 5 to 7 times a game. You wouldn't want that?
TJ, I want a dude that I give the ball to 15 times. Every time he touches the ball, like Gibbs from Detroit, you're holding your breath. You're like, that guy can go to the house.
You draft that guy. But Jaylen Warren, he's got that stuff too. He's got that. He can. I think you add another power guy.
Yeah, Jaylen Warren better be carrying a football around with him all off season.
You're right. And again, the biggest thing for me is, and again, we all look at speed for running back, and that's important. Don't get me wrong. It's vision. Can you see the holes? Can you get to the holes? Najee Harris had terrible just vision. You know who had great vision? Le'Veon Bell. He was patient.
You think, dude?
And he could see the stuff and he could go for it. But again, he was in the right system. He had a great quarterback, great wide receiver. So he did all kinds of stuff. You take him to the Jets. How do you do with the Jets? It's all about me. Is it all about you, Le'Veon? It's not about you. And by the way, just so you know, Le'Veon's a close personal friend of me and Tim. We have video evidence of that, right?
Yes, he is. He is.
Close personal friend.
I think he called us the 2 Muppets. We're like, da, 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 da,
we may hang out at some point. I don't know. But I think he'll do better. And I think you pick up a free agent bruiser because they're out there, and you'll get them cheap. And then you draft a breakaway, a speed guy. No, I don't want to have another kid from. I don't want anybody from Maryland. I don't want anybody that's like 5'7". He's so fast. I don't need that.
TJ, you know we're gonna hear pretty much draft night 2 or day 3. And this is when I immediately shatter my TV.
Don't you say we're not getting to Tomlin. Don't say Dino.
Dino Tomlin with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I just rip my 83-inch. And you know what? I put it underneath my arm. I get out of my house. I take it back up to Best Buy and say, there's something's wrong with this TV. I was just told that Dino Tomlin's a Pittsburgh Steeler.
Awful. What else you got in the user mailbag?
There's others. It's all draft stuff that we've kind of hit on. So nothing to really go deep into.
Well, again, if you have any questions for us at the Yinzer Bros, you can email us at yinzerbros@gmail.com, and we'll get with you as soon as you can. So, Tim, do you think, do the Steelers have a chance this year?
For what?
Anything. Every team starts out the same. They start out with one.
Do I think the Steelers have a chance to? What are we to win a Super Bowl?
So every team starts out, even in the NFL. What's the one goal, Tim, of every team that you've ever played on?
To win a championship.
To win a championship. So the Steelers are no different. To disqualify them before the season even starts. Here's my 2 questions. 1, is the roster that bad? And 2, is there a chance they put things together? How far away are they? When you look at the team, the age, where they're going, where they're growing, how bad is the team really?
The team is not, TJ. The quarterback is very bad. You got to get that dude. You have to get that dude. That is, I don't care what, you could have the greatest roster in the world. You got to get that dude.
I agree.
You got to get him. I just don't, Aaron Rodgers is not that dude anymore. He maybe could get you a playoff win, maybe 2. I don't think when it's nut-cracking time against the Mahomeses or the Burrows or the Josh Allens, it's only going to take you so far.
What did we learn from Philly this year?
TJ, don't get me wrong. I agree with what you're saying, but that defensive line, we don't have that.
No.
Not even close.
So we start to build that, but what did we learn from Philly this year? What did they teach the whole league?
Jalen Hurts is still pretty decent, man.
He is. Did Jalen Hurts, I know he's the MVP. Could you have switched Jalen Hurts out with, let's say, I don't know, like something that is not in the top 4 quarterbacks? Like, say, could you have traded him out with like a Justin Herbert? Could you have traded him out with a Bo Nix? Would they have won?
No.
They would have, of course. How many points did Kansas City score?
No, they would have. No, Bo Nix. No. Everybody on that Bo Nix hype train right now, I think things are going to get real for Bo Nix year 2.
I think he's a serviceable quarterback. I don't think he's a world beater.
No. TJ, no, Jalen Hurts is pretty good, man. He's pretty good, dude.
No,
he's
I
pretty
like
good.
Jalen Hurts. But you put him in the top, is he in your upper echelons for quarterbacks?
I'd say he's probably top 7.
So that puts him in the AFC about half for quarterbacks?
AFC, I would put him probably in that 4th. If he was in the AFC, probably 4th.
4th? So you're saying that he's better than, obviously you have Mahomes, Jackson, you got
Allen.
He's
4th or 5th. I put him there. I put him there with the Burrow and him interchangeable.
Burrow is 4th. So
Then
that'd be 5th. You put him above Herbert?
Yeah.
Really?
He just won. I can't. He's won. His numbers are, and I get it. That team is loaded, but he's won. Like TJ, he carved up the Chiefs in that Super Bowl. He carved them.
So what was the difference between him this year and last year?
You did have Saquon, but
he's pretty important, don't you think?
Yeah, but okay, if you're saying that, what was the difference? 3 years ago, 2 years ago when they were in the Super Bowl? He didn't lose in that Super Bowl.
No,
and he was good. They didn't have Saquon.
I like him again, but I think this is where I'm going for. The thought process that you got to have that one guy. Of all those great quarterbacks, how many rings does Allen have?
Allen.
Mm-hmm.
TJ, he's going through the stinking. He's going through the monster.
How
of
many
15.
does Lamar have?
TJ, again, they're going through the monster of 15. That's the same. You can make that argument about Ben. Ben was probably fourth or fifth in that echelon when those quarterbacks were going on.
I agree.
So it's,
from
to me, it's like,
standpoint, who would you rather have more? Who would you have more in a clutch situation than Ben?
During that time,
Yeah,
Brady.
other than Brady,
I would still have Peyton.
you mean Tom Cheater Face Brady?
I'd still have Peyton. I mean, you're still going to put Peyton in clutch time. You're going to put Peyton.
Here's my point. You're right. We got to find that guy, but that guy doesn't have to necessarily be better than Mahomes. He doesn't have to be better than Burrow.
But okay,
I think Burrow's probably the best quarterback in the league. Am I wrong in that?
He's good, but I do like Allen a lot, man.
I mean, so put them.
No. I'm gonna TJ. I'm gonna say it's Mahomes until he's been to so many. TJ, he's been to. I get they lost last year, but dude, he's been to ever since he's been a starter. I think
from a pure quarterback standpoint, Burrow is better than Mahomes. I think he is.
I don't know, man. He just wins all the time.
Well, I get that, but I mean, part of that's whatever. But if you put them side by side, so here's my thing is, so we're not looking. I don't think I'm looking for the next Mahomes. I'm looking for. I mean, if you can, that's great. You're looking for the next person that can lead your franchise for 10 to 15 years. That's it.
I guess what I'm getting at, if you have a Mahomes, in the back of your mind, you're going to be there every year in that final capade. Even when we had Ben, did you always think, hey, we're going to be one of the final 4 teams standing every year? That he was our quarterback.
But that was more than just
I
Ben,
didn't.
Though.
Not every year.
It was the defense. I mean, we had a great defense too.
Exactly. So to me, it's like you got Mahomes. You're like, okay, you're going to be there when it's all said and done because of that dude's. And you had Brady. You knew you had Brady. Those dudes, you're going to be there in the mix, regardless of what your team looks like. You're going to be in the Final Four. That's what I want for the next 15 years.
And I think until you find that guy, you do what the Steelers are doing now. But when you look at their roster right now, the thought process that we're so far away and we stink in all these areas,
TJ,
I don't understand where that narrative comes from.
I think they're way far away on the defensive side compared to Philly. They're crazy far away.
Well, who would you rank next to Philly defensively? I mean, you have the Vikings that are decent, but who would you rank?
The Chiefs have got a pretty good defense.
Let me ask you a question: if the Chiefs' defense wasn't as good as it is, I mean, do the Chiefs do they even get to the Super Bowl this year?
But here's the kicker to it is like, they lost their best receiver week 2.
I get it. You know what that's called?
So
the NFL.
I know, but I'm saying like if you have him, that's a different. Their offense is probably pretty different.
Look at San Francisco. They lost their big.
They got decimated.
They did. It's just part of football. It is what it is.
I understand. But it's like to me
too. And as Mahomes and these guys get older.
But that kind of proves my point is. Chiefs got pretty decimated on offensive injuries, and they're still there in the Super Bowl.
So it's like to me because of their defense. But when they played that top tier team, I mean,
they lost 2 games the whole year.
I get it, but I mean, let's be real though. Some of the games that they won, they were like smoke and mirrors, man.
But let me ask you a question: if there's any quarterback in the league. And you want the ball with the final drive.
Joe Burrow.
You over Mahomes?
Yeah.
I've seen Mahomes do it too many times, dude. He does
it, but he didn't.
TJ, he did do it this year.
No, in the Super Bowl. He looked so bad in the Super Bowl.
Oh, I mean, TJ, but I'm just saying in general, when those games are tight, the only other quarterback that would get me, you had Brady that you were like, oh crap, he has the ball, is Mahomes. It did the same. If there's, I don't want Mahomes to have the ball if there's 15 seconds on the clock and they got to get a field goal or touchdown because I'm like that dude's going to do it.
I think it's 1 and 1A to me. It is what it is. I mean, it's just But to me,
I guess what I'm getting at is this. Yeah, if you got one of the dudes in the top 7, you may be good to get up there every 4 years or 5 years
until you find your guy. Yeah, until you find your guy.
But to me, I want to be in the mix every year. I just don't want to.
So here's my question, though. So then until you find that guy, what is wrong with the Steelers' approach?
I don't. TJ, it feels like they're doing the same thing the Colts did for
So they
10
took
years.
if we know if it and it probably does happen. They took a swing at Trevor Lawrence, whether they said it happened or not. That doesn't just fall out of the sky.
Oh no,
Who else are they going to go get? What else
no,
are they
TJ,
going to do?
I agree with you. They gotta look at all their availability and all their options. But to me, it feels like I don't think Mike Tomlin. The proof's been in the pudding. They drafted Pickett like everybody on green earth had all those quarterbacks rated a hell of a lot lower than they did. They drafted Pickett.
Yeah, because I
Why?
think they made a mistake. They drafted desperate. They drafted to need, and that year there were just no great quarterbacks.
But that's what I feel like this year's with, and I'm
So
getting
don't
scared.
so don't draft one. I'm with you. Don't other than Sanders, don't draft one. Here's the
I just
reality. I think he's okay enough to roll the dice on. But if you roll the dice on him how many first round quarterbacks do teams roll the dice on and lose?
a lot.
So you just got to keep rolling the dice. But the thought process, like, well, they should be doing more. What more could they possibly do
But here,
for a quarterback?
but here's the mind thingy to me. You get it, roll the dice. But I in that office down there, down in the South Side,
Yeah.
they think just having competitive 500 or getting to the playoffs, that should be the goal every year. Sometimes when you draft that guy, and you take that risk of drafting a quarterback, you just let it ride.
You do. I agree. Well, even like, they were even taking a slow approach with Ben too. He didn't come in until Maddox got hurt. I mean, I still remember Alan Faneca. There's like, hey, Ben came out of a good game. And he was like, he's a rookie. Why would I be
Yeah.
excited about a rookie? But for their approach, and here's the reality. Let me ask you a question.
But
Would you rather this year, would you rather have Fields as your quarterback or Aaron Rodgers?
they're getting paid the same amount of money.
Yeah. Now let's say you give them both 30 million, 20 million.
Me, I would probably say Fields.
Haven't you seen? You saw him in Chicago. We saw him for a year here. I think we know what we're going to get with Fields. So to me, Fields is like, okay, I know what I'm going to get with him. Rodgers could be a shadow of what he was before, but I'll still take that shadow, knowing that neither one of those guys is the answer.
I just think it's less of a headache with Fields.
Well, you're probably right with that because he's a good guy and he's a good teammate and stuff like that. My thought is this: I mean, who cares? And here's the reality: wouldn't this be a kick in the groin? What if somehow, some way, Mason Rudolph is like good?
TJ, don't. He had his opportunity with Tennessee last year, and the kid he stunk.
I didn't see any games with him with Tennessee.
He was brutal, TJ. And here's the other thing with Fields. At least with Fields, if you have the Rodgers, you know what you're getting kind of with Rodgers. He's not telling his career. With Fields, it's always in the back of your mind is, well, maybe he has the talent, and he's young enough. If he puts it together, he's dangerous, dude. Like, very dangerous.
But weren't you afraid though? At any moment, he would turn it over, drop the ball, or do something incredibly stupid.
I know. He did it once every game. And I said, TJ, I said that when we signed him, when we got him from the Bears.
I know.
Like, it's like everybody's like makes fun of me like I'm an idiot. I say things, I'm like, dude, it happened. Did you just see what happened? Yes.
No. So for us, it's like, I get, hey, they threw something out at him, but I don't think he's a $30-40 million guy.
I don't think he's $30 million. I agree with you on that. They gave him 40. He's getting 40, but they gave him 30 guaranteed. I don't think he's that. But
To the Jets,
I just think the Steelers screwed the pooch the way they did this whole entire thing. Because they could have got Fields probably if they wanted to towards the end of that season. If they knew they weren't going to Russ, because I don't think they ever thought they were going to. Why don't you just sign Fields in that season? Don't even let him get close to free agency. They probably could have got him for $20 million.
Maybe you're right. They maybe. I just think now it's like
I just think it's getting me nervous because I feel like they're continuously thinking Tomlin is like this king and get everything done. Like people, like the TJ Watt deal, they should have signed him way before.
Let's see, but I don't think that's a Tomlin thing. I think that's their organization. I think Tomlin doesn't care. I think Tomlin's like, give everybody the money that they want. I don't think Tomlin cares about the money. I think he just wants to coach them. I think then you got to deal with the Rooneys, you got to deal with everybody else to break those things. But I think they're going to keep. I have no problem with them drafting a quarterback every year, a decent one until they find one. You don't have that,
Yeah, dude. But if you draft a dude in the first round, and he doesn't hit TJ, because it's not like you can. A first round dude, you got to be like, you got to give him at least 2 or 3 years to start
I agree.
to see what you have. So you're basically putting your franchise behind the ball too. You can't just continue to be like, hey, let me draft another first round quarterback.
No. So this year, I look at it, if they're not deep enough or good enough, then we're going to build everything else. We'll get one next year. I mean, that's
You know
just
what's
how
gonna
you
be,
gotta be.
you know what's gonna be hilarious is when they actually draft the kid from Penn State in 26. And to have before you heard all the crazy people on the Pickett side, now you're gonna hear all the Penn State crazies. And those people are banana land.
They are.
Like them and the no ND fans. It's like a 1 and a 1A. To hear that the excuses are gonna make up for that dude too. It's gonna be
Wait,
hilarious.
is that Adder? What's his name?
I know Adderall or something,
Yeah.
whatever Adderall. But
I'm curious to see what he does this year. I want to see how he does. Actually, I want to see too the Manning kid. He got the bloodline, baby.
there's a lot of dudes that are going to be good next year.
But you know what? I kick
Coming
the
out.
can down the field. Again, I'm not even. If they drafted Sanders at 21, I wouldn't be happy, but I wouldn't like burn the ships. I
Dude,
think you
here's the
let it
thing.
pass.
You draft Sanders at 21, dude. You're already drafting a quarterback for the
No,
next.
you're stuck for
2 or
3 years,
3
like you
years.
said. Yeah, no, I say let that pass, build the rest of your team up, go with that. I think if I were to put a percentage on it, and again, I don't know nothing about nothing, but the way that they're approaching the thing with Rodgers, I'm guessing it's got to be better than 50%. It's got to be 60, 70% he's coming. Deal with it next year. If not, then you got Mason. And again, best
What
case
is that
scenario does
again?
great.
But what does that say? What does that say about the franchise? At the state of the franchise, if Rodgers is like, no, I'm going to go retire instead.
I think he's going to play. What I saw
but-
is a guy that wants to play.
But like, even if what if he's waiting to go to another team? Like, what does that say about the Steelers?
I don't even think all that's true either. I think it's one of those things to where I think these agents put things out there. We know this. I mean, hey, even the smoke with the Vikings. So maybe he wanted to go play at the Vikings because it's an indoor place or a complete team. It's a quick shot at a Super Bowl. Can you blame him for that? But
I
so
don't.
he comes to them with an offer. Hey, this is what I want, and they're like, "Sorry, we're going with this. We like our young guy," which is a roll of dice for them. But all the other options, I mean, is he talking to the other coaches on a regular basis like Tomlin? I think he's going to play. I think he just, who he is. He's the Donald Trump of NFL quarterbacks. He wants to be in the limelight. He wants to have the ego fed constantly. Is there a quarterback in the league now that's got a bigger ego than he does?
TJ, but here's my thing. We're the Pittsburgh Steelers. Do you think if old man Rooney was alive,
It's just a different time. I don't think anybody cares.
in your honest opinion, do you think if Dan Rooney was alive, he would have been putting up with this whole entire circus?
I think it was a different game. I think right now they're like, if we get you, that gives us a better chance to win. We're going to figure it out. You take all the time you need. Because you know what they do? I think Mike Tomlin in his office has a picture of Mason Rudolph without that face mask. And he's like, this is the guy we got to go to if I don't get this guy.
I just can't Mason. Can you Mason all year?
Dude, why he would release a picture of him in a shirtless overalls, I have no idea. Tim, you know what we should do? You should recreate
If you
that
would have
picture.
asked me 3 years ago to say, hey, Mason's going to be your starter in 2025, I would be like, you and that guy from Best Buy can go to bleep. There's no way in God's creation.
All right. I think we got to shut it down. This has been a pretty long
Yeah.
podcast. Again, don't forget, if you like what you hear, pass it along to all your friends, your neighbors. We have the podcast on YouTube that you can watch. It's on all the other stuff too, Spotify, Apple, all those other places. Again, we are the Yinzer Bros. Stay classy, Pittsburgh.
Still number one out here. I can't get golfing out of my brain. This whole thing, all I kept thinking about is I hit many shots right into the side of the screen today. It's
We
I'm
need
mentally
video
going.
evidence. See ya.